Today I'm going to uh, talk about the production economics and marketing scenario of millets in India. So I think it is in a different area. Like now, anything if it is not profitable, so we can't increase the area or the thing. So really, the economic aspects and the marketing aspects are very crucial, really, to make the millets to a global to really reach a global level. So I'll be discussing about the production aspects and also the marketing aspects and little bit on the trade and way forward. So by this time you all well know about millets, no need of any much of introduction. But yes, the millets almost it has grown 15 million hectares with an annual production of 17 million tons and contribute to 10% to the country's food grain basket. So if you see the global scenario, so before just going into the direct economics part, I'm just giving you a few statistics. So India is almost produces 20% of the global production and especially 80% to the Asia. And yes, we are because of the good crop improvement programs. Yes, we are almost having a global average yield of 1.239 kg per hectare, and it's the same in the depicted in a pictorial form. The same, so almost in Asia, the if you see the continental wise, yes, Africa leads the highest in area under millet cultivation and in the production, then followed by the Asia. If you see the country-wise production of the millets in 2020, India is contributes major one with 19%, followed by the America, USA, Nigeria, China, Ethiopia, and Niger, Mali, Mexico, Sudan, Brazil. These are the major country-wise production of millets. Coming in India, if you see the Jowar, Bajra contributes around 56% and followed by the sorghum 32% in area and ragi 9% and small millets the 3% in case of area. And in production, if you see the Bajra almost contributes 60% followed by the Jowar with 27% and ragi 11% and small millets 2%. Within, if you take all these 9 millets, so the major was 48% was by the pearl millet, followed by 38% by sorghum, then followed by little millet 1.7%, and the finger millet, finger millet 7.8%, followed by the little millet, and then kodo millet, then barnyard millet, and then and the foxtail millet. So, as you well aware that before Green Revolution, the millet was a major grown in a major area, and it was now, if you see, a post Green Revolution period, the area decreased almost 56%, and the productivity, however, the productivity is increased to 28%, which at least we are almost maintaining the production levels. This is mostly because of the high adoption of high yielding varieties and hybrids. So in 1965-70, if you see, the millet basket is 20% millets contribute to the total food grain basket, and now it is only 6%, dominated by the rice and wheat, which is really a major concern. If you see the trends of area production productivity of the millets of last decade, if you see the rate of decline was major in Jowar. If you can see, it is like, it is 5% and compared to other. However, the productivity, if you see, that is 2.1 overall. So it's really a positive sign because of the research and the crop improvement side. However, the production has almost declined, except in Bajra. It was just a little bit increase in the production in the last decade. But the drastic change was witnessed in the small millets. It's very pathetic. It's 6.13%. We are losing every year 6.13% area of small millets and the sorghum, which is really a great concern when we are really talking about nutritional security. So this is the statewide scenario of the millet. If you see the Rajasthan contributes a major one, 27%, followed by Maharashtra, the 15%, Uttar Pradesh 14%, and Karnataka 13%. Then Madhya Pradesh 8% and Gujarat 7%. For Haryana, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh and Uttarakhand. These are the major millet growing states which really need a state-wise focus for increasing the area of the millets. So before I go, anything we really have to really move means it is almost whether you are here, we are here, anyone, it's only for the profitability. Unless until the crop is not profitable, it's really very difficult for the farmers to grow that crop. So we always have to have an overview and how we are really moving and what are the cost and returns. We should always have the knowledge of it. So today I'll be just explaining you what are the costs and returns of the millets. If you see during 2019, as the data was available only for the 2019-20, and if you see the total operational costs among the states, if you observe, it is varying from 28 to 50,000 per hectare in case of Bajra. So this is about Bajra. And if you see the net returns, I have not taken fixed cost. If you see fixed cost, it includes almost like 40 to 60,000 per hectare. But if you see the net returns over operational cost, not taking even the fixed cost, so you can see that yes, in case of Bajra, at least it is varying from 8,000 to 14,000 per hectare only they are getting the net returns over the operational cost. So many of the states have witnessed a very less benefit cost ratio, except in Gujarat, yes, it is beneficial. It has benefited the farmers with a net return. So if you see the costs, almost except in Gujarat, almost like in Haryana, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, everyone has witnessed net returns. Yes, there is a positive net return, but but the costs are varying over the states. So within the costs aspect, if you see in case of Bajra, the major one is the human labor, then followed by the fixed cost. Human labor almost it is like 35 to 35 to 40%, 50%. It is only the human labor. Then followed by the fixed cost, then by the machine labor, and then the animal labor. This is the in case of Bajra. So if you see the operation, in case of Jowar, if you see in case of Jowar, sorry. So the costs are also ranging from operational cost ranging from 28 to 30, and here also the major cost was the human labor, then the machine labor, then the fertilizers. In case of sorghum, the fertilizers and the manures contributes a major share. Here also the many of the states, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, three states have shown a positive benefit cost ratio. That means they are getting a good returns, at least a positive. They are getting some additional returns. But in case of Telangana, it was like there was a negative net returns was observed in Telangana and in the Andhra Pradesh especially. So same thing if you see in Telangana, the costs are very high compared to the net return. There in Rajasthan and Telangana, they have witnessed a negative net return. So here, why we have to really focus on the costs is that so that we can take state-wise policies. Yeah, policies can really be planned if you can keenly observe what are the real input factors are affecting, and then so that we can plan accordingly to get a better income for the farmers. So in case of in case of Jowar, yes, the major cost was human labor, almost like 40%, followed by fixed cost, then the machine labor, and then the fertilizers and the manure. In case of Ragi, if you see the operational costs, I feel compared to sorghum and Bajra, the Ragi cost was bit high. I don't know what might be the reason. Maybe agronomist can say. Here it was ranging from almost like 40 to 52 thousand per hectare. And the net returns are also over the operational cost, except in Maharashtra and Orissa, they have shown a negative net returns. So, but however, in Tamil Nadu and Uttarakhand, especially Uttarakhand has shown a very good net returns and the benefit cost ratios. But however, overall, if you see the net returns with the fixed cost, yes, there is a negative returns. So in Maharashtra and Orissa, there is a net returns over corporate over operational cost was negative, but in Uttarakhand, the costs and gross returns are good, favorable. So if you see, even in the ragi, 38% to 60%, in Uttarakhand, it was mostly grown organically, 65% only the human labor. And in Karnataka, it is also 38%, followed with the fixed cost and then the animal labor. So I think the millets, we need really a small machineries intervention, mechanization will really help us in overcoming the major cost of human labor. So if you see the trends, so the profitability is a major thing. So how millets are really profitable? I have just taken a last year trends from last 10 years. If you see the cost of cultivation of this jowar, if you see, there was an increase in the operational cost, almost like doubled. Like in Karnataka, it is 150%, and Rajasthan, it was twofold. It was 260. So that means 9,778 rupees used to be there, rupees per hectare. Now, if you see, it was 35,000. So this is really, we have to really look upon how we can reduce the operational cost through any technological interventions. So to see the profitability, the pace at which the prices and the costs are moving. If you see in case of Tamil Nadu, the costs every year, that means here I have taken annual changes, like every year 15% of costs are increasing. But if you see the prices of the sorghum, they're just moving at a pace of 11%. So except in Andhra Pradesh, yes, the prices are moving at 14% and costs are moving at 8%. It is very good. So if this, like Andhra Pradesh scenario, if it is other states, if follows, yes, the farmers will get a benefit. So the pace at which the costs are moving, if the prices also moves, then the farmers will come up more for the millet cultivation. So this is in case of the Jowar, this is on the net returns. But however, if you say the net returns in Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh, they have shown a positive net returns over the decade, if you see the change. And it was very good. Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh, they and Tamil Nadu. This is only operational cost I've taken. I've not taken fixed cost. If you take fixed cost, everything will come in negative. At least operational cost I've taken. In Andhra, so this is how the trend in the Jowar. And this is the about Bajra. Yes, Bajra cost of cultivation is also almost in all states witnessed an increased trend, and the highest was observed in Rajasthan. It is 236%. And in the same case, here also I worked out the in Bajra also the same scenario was observed. The costs are not moving at the pace of the price. So that is really where MSP or anything should take into the consideration of these profitability. So the same thing, the net returns, yes, but in Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra, they are observed in this decadal. If you see the change of net returns, yes, there is an increase in the net returns, but in states like Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, they have shown a declining trend. So this is in case of ragi. Ragi, almost all the costs in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka have taken only three major states. Yes, there is an increase in the thing, but in Uttarakhand, yes, there was a declining one. Same thing here also, the costs are not moved at the pace of the prices. The costs are high. And only in Karnataka and Uttarakhand, they have shown a good net returns over the change is positive. Coming to the millets trade, as we know that millets now International Year of Millets, and the millet markets are really because of the awareness. In especially in 2018, the millet market size was witnessed a very good improvement. It almost witnessed 4.5 compound annual growth trend, and the millet market is set to grow even in this by 2025. It will be over 12 billions, so which is a very positive sign. And I think pearl millet market is projected to 3% by 2025. So if you see the export trend, ragi and bajra has, if you see from 2019, last 10 years, there is a positive export growth trend in case of millets. They have witnessed, however, jova, there was a decline. So now the millets exports are because of this international air and awareness, this millet exports are expected to grow tremendously in the next few years. So who are into the trade business, I think it is really a good chance to really focus on the new markets abroad. And according to the Department of Commerce, the worldwide demand for Nutrisil continues to rise. And in 2020, India is a world leader in the millet production. And now we are moving into an export of almost like 12 billions. So Nepal, UAE, and Saudi were the top three importers of the millets from India. And Libya, Tunisia, Morocco, and UK, Oman, and Algeria round up the top 10 destinations for Indian millet exports. So now agriculture, the EPIDA, the Agriculture and Processed Food Product Export Development Authority, has been working very hard to make it easier for Indian exporters to transport millet and help them to break into a new markets. So they even included this millet exporters in the recent held virtual buyer meets, and also arranged involving Indian embassies, importers, exporters, and product groups. And it also, they are going to give the impetus to the export potential products. And EPIDA has created a Nutri-Cereal Export Promotion Forum, which also included millet exports. And it is also organizing many sensitizing programs for the millet startups and to familiarize them to export opportunity in collaboration with ICR and IMR. And if you see, even the value added products, infant foods, bakery products, breakfast, beverages, and fodder are going to are they are forecasted that there will be a increase in this exports of these products. So this is just to tell you people how in 2015 how the different value added products are coming into the market, organic and regular. There are, if you can see, it's a very good study in Bangalore: finger millet, kodo millet, foxtail millet, barnyard millet, rosa millet, little millet, pearl millet, and mixed millet. If you see, there are many ready to eat, ready to cook, both at organic and all. So this is really a very encouraging to see that more and more urban population is interested in this millet value added products. So what really drive the millet trade by 2025 has for the EPIDA is that the growing inclination toward urban population towards healthy food, especially Asia specific nutritional aspect, and then climate resilience, one thing, and then lifestyle diseases and the nutritional, and also the USB around the millets is really going to take a millet a great at 2025. So coming to the, so before going, this was a trend, but at the same time, we should also focus how our marketing at our domestic level is really going, and how really farmer is facing, what kind of marketing constraints he is facing. It's really, we have to focus. So that's, I just want to give certain studies about the marketing and price spread. Price spread means the price difference between the consumer paid and the producer share. The producer, how much he got the price and how much consumer price, the difference between is called the price spread. And the marketing scenario at a domestic level, we should really look upon. Then only we can, if the farmers are happy and get good price, a remunerative price, they can go for the millets. So let us see, I just giving you the certain studies. This is the details of the marketing cost, margins, and price spread of major, if you see the major organic produced one in this, where millets are there. In this, if you see, they have taken rice, wheat, sorghum, bajra, ragi, kodo, little, proso, barnyard, and foxtail millet. In 2019, if you see the price spread, here it is very interesting that in case of kodo, if you see the price spread, it is almost my 66. That means that only the producer is getting 32% of what the consumer is paying. So we have to really, if the market efficiency has to be increased, means the producer share in the consumer rupee, if you increase, then the farmers will show a more interest, and that shows the good marketing efficiency. And I think the FPOs will really play a good role so that the farmers will get a major share. And I think that will really, if you get a good marketing strategies, and then if you strengthen FPOs in this marketing. If you see here, the processing itself, if you see, processing charges are more in case of millets. So because of that processing thing, if FPO's level itself, the processing has been done. So the price the consumer can pay. So the Kodo millet 31 rupees if they're getting, because of processing, it is taking to the consumer prices paying 97 rupees. So if this, we can, the FPOs, if they do the thing, farmers will get a lot of benefit. And also you can give a lesser price for the consumer. So the both will be benefited. So compared to rice and wheat, because of the processing costs and the other transportations and all costs are more, and the consumer, the price spread is more in case of millets, especially small millets. Here also, if you see, in this was in Maharashtra, they have studied about market efficiency of Jowar. If you see here, the channels, as the channels like producer to consumer, if it is increasing, the more the channel, like more intermediaries in the channel, the more is this price spread, and the market efficiency is very low. So in the first channel, the market efficiency is very high, 4.52%. Then in the channel, it was 2%, 2.2%. And in channel, because the commission agent, the margins, if you see certain margins, it is too high. Like the producer price is 2,550 rupees per quintal. By the time they are selling, the consumer is pricing almost like 3,660. Mostly 32% is going on in the margins, commission agents, and the retailers, consumer, they're taking, the price spread is increasing, and the market efficiency is also going down. So the less margins and the less intermediaries, I think the FPOs need really to strengthen, so that these margins and then marketing costs and marketing margins can be reduced. So these are the different market channels I was observing in Pardasarathi in 2011. He observed almost what are the different marketing channels. So each and every channel, if you can reduce certain margins, the producer's share will be increased, so that the farmers will get a better remunerative price, and then and ultimately they'll show interest to increase the area under millets. So if you see here, producer, wholesaler, traded, primary marketing, secondary market, terminal market, local retail, and consumers. And many farming, there is no processing units at the farm level. That is also adding a lot of marketing costs. So this is also about, I couldn't say that price spread of pearl millet. In this pearl millet, same, the scenario is also same, but in the case of small millets, I observed a lot of price spread and marketing margins. If you see in channel directly from producer, there is no market margins, and the farmer could get a good price. But in channel in two, because of the margins of primary wholesaler, then secondary wholesaler, then the retailer, by the time the is coming to the consumer, it's really soaring prices for the consumer. They has to pay a lot of price. So that is one of the reason now millets have become so costly. So these really to be looked upon. The marketing really need to be strengthened, and different strategies has to be really come up. Unless until if that is not made, the producer and the consumer will have a great problem. So we have to really reinforce and then revital our marketing strategies. The same scenario is also observed in the pearl millet. As there is increase in more intermediate increase, and even among the markets, there is a lot of market efficiency is varying, and the net price received by the farmers and the retailers, it was almost like double. If you see here the marketing cost, it is only the farmer received only 753 rupees, but the marketing margins was 219 rupees, and the marketing cost is 1 and by the time it is go to the retail side, it is almost like 1,000 rupees. So this is to be really looked upon, and many policies has to be really come in. The market intelligence also is to be strengthened. And the same thing we also found in case of ragi. This is also producer's share was only 82. In some markets, the even the intermediaries, which are having a medium intermediaries, yes, we are finding a good producer share in the consumer rupee. The same was also observed in the case of, but in case of small millets like kodo and finger millet, if you see certain studies they have done, there was a huge margins, like, 20, almost like margins itself is contributing to 40 to 23 to 40%. So that is really an alarming one. And the same thing in the ragi I have taken. So one of the thing here is now we are working on the value addition, FPO at value addition. It is also one of the important. Just this, I kept this slide to just to tell you that if you see farmer sale price, he has done 3,000 for a quintal, he has sold for 3,200 rupees. But the farmers association, if comes, and the processor also, there is an association, how it will be benefit. This study is really a good study, which I could found that, see, the purchase price 300 rupees, and then value addition, because of value addition into cookies, they got a 6,000 6,575. So, and then again, if you see the retail margins, if you see again 3,000 profit, by the time the consumer is paying for 1 quintal of the cookies to 15,600 rupees. So, if the farmers itself is doing the value addition and then processing, the farmers itself will get benefited with the value addition. So, really, value addition will really beat a finger millet. If you see the floor also, the value to 3,000 rupees. If you convert it into a flour, and then if you sell it, it is almost like 5,400. And if the farmers itself make this, then the consumer also will get it at a lesser price, because the margins will be really be little bit cut. So like that, the sprouted flour also shown the same scenario. So same thing is also observed in this thing. As the time is up, say Dhan Foundation has also studied the price spread of various millets. So same thing they observed, the margins are very high in case of kodo and the small millets, which really to be looked upon. So details so I'll just go on because of time limitation, and then the little millet also they worked out. And coming to the MSP trends, if you see, yes, it's a very positive. To see that MSP every year they are increasing, and they have grown with the highest in case of ragi. It was almost 11.90% every year they're increasing. It's a good sign. Being an international, let us hope that this year we'll have a good rise in the MSP too. So I just want to conclude by giving a way forward by seeing the both the economic production aspects and the marketing aspects. Unless until the production at the production level and the market level is been not addressed, and farmers' involvement in the processing and the value addition will really through FPOs is really a great way forward, which I feel that definitely the farmers will get benefit and more farmers will come for this millet production. So some of the way forwards which I feel is development of initiative for enhancing productivity of millets. Cost of cultivation millets can be reduced by adoption of recommended package of practice and increase resources efficiency. Technological upgradation, adoption of water saving technologies and the mechanization. Generation of demand through value addition and the millet hub sector development will generate numerator price to the farmers and double the farmers' income. Creation of marketing infrastructure with innovative supply chain models, online marketing platforms especially, and other significant increase millet farmer share in consumer rupee. The imperfection in the markets to really strengthen the market information, then value chain linkages, regulation of middlemen, development of exclusive channels, and market for millet products in public-private model would really promote millet farming. And really, government should include millet in public distribution systems and supplementary program. And they should also think of incentivizing farmers growing millets, and specific value addition practices like grading, sorting, cleaning, and processing package should also be supported. And the training required to all the small entrepreneurs and exercise regarding proper processing and ensuring proper packaging of the processed products. And the government should promote millet marketing through state livelihood machines and non-profit, and must organize special camps in rural areas. Mixed cropping, intercropping, and crop rotation model should also be promoted, and formulated a steady price policies expanding coverage of small millets under MSP and more procurement of millets through MSP, and providing especially the MSP for the small millets, and procuring millets under FPO and FAO and FPOs and state government department, and also need a policy for encouraging millet FPOs in developing infrastructure, value addition and marketing, and guidelines for all the state government to design and implement millet mission covering farming aspects such as FPO, infrastructure, seed hub, farming incentives, farm gate value addition, capacity building towards increasing cultivation area under millets, establishing standards and grades for small millets, and also of degree of quality for the transparent marketing. And especially now for the trade purpose, establishing HSC codes for small millets for exporting. Then R&D need to be strengthened in processing and shelf life, and export market trends of the millet value-added products need to be really emphasized, and framing USP for the various product segments of domestic and international markets. So being an international year of millets, I think government should really devise the policies to promote millets so that implementation takes not only the consideration of health, but also the economic status of our farming community, which are mostly the millets are of holding a marginal, which are very marginal. So if the production and the marketing through FPOs, it is strengthened, I think the millets will be really lead, will be where we, India, we can lead millet production and also the trade at a global level in a great way, and leading to the nutritional security and food security at global front. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the